Yo, this is gonna be a quick video. I want to talk about how underrated Genthru is from Hunter x Hunter. He's one of the most underrated characters in the show, and a lot of people don't give him the credit that he deserves. He's somewhat of an experienced nin user, and he has an OP ability. I mean, if you power scale him, he's pretty much up there in the Hunter x Hunter power scale. And in terms of how strong I think he is, I think that he can be like mid to high squadron level, or maybe above squadron level in the Hunter x Hunter universe. Because think about it, you got Gon and Killia, they're struggling to beat an officer. They both battle against Rabbit in a 1v2, and they was still kind of struggling. I think they mid-diff him. They did use their nin ability, but they didn't charge it up. But I don't think Killy can charge his Thunderbolt. I mean, he probably can, but Gon, he definitely didn't charge his Jerkin Fist up enough to put real damage on it, but it was still enough to take him down. We can power scale Genthru using that, because Gon, he had to really charge his Jerkin Fist up at full power to beat him. And the only reason why he was able to do that, because he outsmarted him. That's it. Other than that, Gon was really not a match for Genthru. And this Gon, from the beginning of the Chimera Ant arc, is literally after the Green Island arc. So this Gon in the beginning of the Gon at the beginning of the Chimera Ant arc is no different than he was in the Green Island arc. So that means that all three of the bombers, they'll be able to take on any of the squadron leaders, any of the officers too. Because either they had to charge up their abilities at 100% to beat them, or they had to outmaneuver them and outsmart them. And with Genthru, you can make an argument that he was holding back the whole entire time. You had Gon using Ren, and he still couldn't beat him pound for pound. Genthru, he was just reading the guy's movement by reading the flow of his aura. And the whole thing about it, that he really wasn't trying to kill Gon. He was just playing with his food. He was just trying to break his spirit down. That was the whole point of using his ability. Because he really didn't have to use his ability. He was just pounding him to a pulp. And again, you can make an argument that he may not have went all out using his Ren. I mean, did he even use Ken in that fight? You got to take that into account. And did he even use Little Flower to the full extent? And that Little Flower, man, is so OP. Because if he gets a hold of you, man, it's a wrap. And it's really a wrap if you don't have any experience in a nin battle, or you don't know how to use nin at all. So if he goes up against those Chimera Ants, the officers, even the squadron leaders, he'll be at an advantage. Majority of the ants don't know how to use nin, so he can just pick them off easy. And even if he fought against some that do know how to use nin, they don't know how to use Gaio, to portion up their nin so it cancels out his little flower ability. They don't know how to do that because they don't have any experience. So he can just still pick them off. And he'll most likely be able to compete with them power-wise. Because in the fight with Gon, he still had the power advantage. And I think there's like something up with the writing in that fight. Now, I'm not complaining about people's writing and all that, because that's the thing, that Hunter x Hunter has perfect writing. The writing is so good in Hunter x Hunter, which it is, but perfect writing is objective. And no matter what, there's always going to be a flaw in everything. I mean, there are a couple of flaws in Hunter x Hunter. Like this fight. I didn't think it made any sense for Genthru to lose that fight. To be honest with you, I thought it made better sense if Gon lost the fight and then Biscuit came out of nowhere to save him. And then that can be a learning lesson to Gon. Is that, man, you gotta have some experience in a nin battle. You can't just be marching in and hoping for the best, thinking that you might come out on top. It doesn't always work that way. You gotta know what you're doing when you're in the nin battle. Because if Genthru, if he had like the power advantage, why couldn't he just use Ko to block his jerking fist? He should have been able to survive it, because he had the power advantage. Because Knuckles was gonna block it with Ko, either Ten or Ko. But all in all, Genthru, he should still be strong enough to take care of most of the Chimera Ants. And ability like Little Flowers is extremely overpowered, because we've seen abilities they got to do with explosions. I mean, look at Ahsoka when he fought against Corlo in the manga. An explosion ability, fingers missing. Notice when there's an explosion ability in Hunter x Hunter, somebody's head is getting missing or somebody's getting damaged. That's how OP those type of abilities are. Like the only squadron Chimera Ant I see him struggling with is maybe the Lion guy, because of his ability, that surfing ability. I don't see how he's gonna deal with that ability. But like power wise, speed wise, he should be able to beat him though. And the Chimera Ant Phaeton fought against, he should be able to beat her. And I know people are gonna say that, you know, she was keeping up with Phaeton, and then when she transformed, Phaeton couldn't even damage her. But that's because Phaeton, he was rusty. And then the longer he fought her, the faster he became. And then when she transformed, he most likely didn't even use, you know, enough power in his coat. And then he had his whole body filled with Zetsu. That's why he got damaged in the first place. It was explained in the anime, but I think the manga did a better explanation of it. And then he wasn't really taking her serious in the first place. He was just using her as like a, you know, a training exercise. That's it. I think Phaeton, he got too, you know, ahead of himself and underestimated the Chimera Ant. He just got caught slipping. That's it. Because he kept acting too careless. So if you take that into the account, I think that Chimera Ant name is Zanzan or something like that. Zazan. But you can actually lowball that Chimera Ant. Because, you know, Phaeton, he's supposed to be, at least according to the fan base, he's one of the top strongest members of the Phantom Troop. And then yet the Phantom Troop wasn't really concerned about that Chimera Ant. They was on this like, hey, I got next. I mean, even some of the weaker members, at least the fan base would consider weaker, they wanted to smoke. Who's the guy who got an ability called Jupiter? I'm not, you know, always great with remembering names like that. But he was like, man, I got next. And you would think they would be concerned about that Chimera Ant, consider again that Phaeton might be one of the strongest members of the Phantom Troop. So taking that into account, you can lowball that Chimera Ant even lower. And then Genthru, he ate a kit that was enhanced by Gon, and then Gon got his hand blew off. He couldn't even block Little Flower. So let's just say like a month of training, like post 1 month Gon from the Chimera Ant art. We can just say that Genthru might be on his level or above. I think he'll still be above Gon even after a month of training. And even if you think that Gon and Killia will pretty much surpass him, it'll most likely be around the post 2 months, the second month. But Genthru, he should still be strong enough to take care of most of these Chimera Ants on a 1v1, especially with his ability and his experience. And their lack of experience in the Nen battle, they getting picked off. They can't handle his ability, including his crew, Bora and Sub, because it seems like they got the same ability as well. And plus Killia, he could never beat the Bora guy. He had to outmaneuver him. I mean, he even used his Thunderbolt ability on him and it had no effect. He had to use yo-yos that was potentially harder than metal, and he could have potentially enhanced them with aura as well. And then Sub, he fought against Biscuit and she had to transform to beat him. And even if she didn't go all out in that form, she probably just used that form just to have that extra bit of power to lay the smackdown on him. So taking that to account, you can actually put him up on the power scaling. I mean, these guys are pretty much strong. All of them should be able to take on squadron leaders. I mean, and imagine if Genthru improved his ability, improved Little Flower, even add extra variety to Little Flower, or just create another ability that can complement Little Flower, like using enhancement or conjuration. What if he created an ability similar to Heart Attack, like Akira from the JoJo series? He gonna be a prop, and especially if he was serious on training, like training really hard, doing the same type of training that Gon and Killia did. Oh, he gonna be a prop. He can easily have a rank of 24, maybe even 25, because I think in the data book he's ranked 23. It's just 1 point away from Hisoka. I see a lot of potential in this character, but that's all I want to say. This guy is extremely underrated. Let me know what you guys think, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'm out.